Hello, this is Smislav the Slayer doing another live Blitz chess game commentary. It looks like we're in the queen pawn opening. Queen's gambit declined at this stage. But I think that kind of transposes us to the Dutch, the Stonewall Dutch. And I'm going to go ahead and fianchetto my light square bishop. The idea is that if black takes on c4, he'll open up this long diagonal, which would be nice for me. And these two pawns will be kind of weak as well, so he'll have a lot of weaknesses. And I can try to attack these light squares as well, though it doesn't really... A lot of times black can, with this setup, it's difficult for white to attack these light squares. Kind of a common idea in this position is to try to play well, I guess he's getting at the F file now. I'm going to go ahead and play E5. You want to prevent black from playing E5. So I'm wondering if I want to play, I think I'm going to go ahead and play that. C takes D5. He'll probably play E takes C5. Now maybe F3. And the idea here will be I can play, see now I'm not too concerned about this E3 pawn. I think it's more of a weakness than it is a strength for him. And what I want to do is play B4 and B5, weakening his this queenside pawn structure. It's basically the minority attack. So I'm not sure exactly how I want to go about doing that though. That's why I'm kind of just pausing. I think maybe the problem with A3 is then B4, B5, and the queen is going to be attacking A3. But actually, that's not that big of a problem. The rook's going to be pretty decently placed on A1 anyway. And I think I'll play B4, queen to B3. That's not too big of a problem. Maybe that is kind of a big problem. Maybe I should have played F4 first, just to get this light square bishop kind of on this D5 pawn, which I think is going to be my main target. One thing I could try to do is just play at that before. I mean, maybe I still can do it, is play F4, B5. He's going to try to play C5 now. There's got to be, I think, a way I can take advantage of this E3 pawn weakness. But at the same time, it's not that easy. I think I'm going to go ahead and play queen b3. That pins this pawn, which doesn't do a whole lot. It does attack e3 as well. It prepares... Okay, that actually, I think, is much better for me. Now, f4 is still not the greatest move because it opens a g file, which I don't really want to have open right now. I think I can go ahead and get this other rook to the c file. And maybe just play b5 as a sacrifice to get my rook to c7. That actually might work out pretty well. You know, maybe I'll double on the c file. Probably c3. Actually, now it's all coming together. I'll play rook to c3 to attack this e pawn. Then double on the c pawn, assuming he plays like rook to e8 or something and defends. And then I'll play b5 as a pawn sacrifice, or to give him some mildly weak... actually, he might have to play rook to c8. If he plays rook to e8, I might want to play f4 first, because then if g takes f4, rook takes f4. Then I can always play rook to f1, rook to c1. Okay, so he's going to do it that way. I'm trying to think if I want to play b5 right now. This I think I do want to double on the rook, double on the, double on the c file first, then play b5. Then I can play rook to c7, attack this a pawn, attack this light square bishop, maybe with... Oh, okay. I think at this point I just take the e pawn then, because it's enough of a... It annoys me enough that it's worthwhile just taking it. Now, if rook takes, queen takes, probably rook to e8, I imagine. No, that. I think I'm gonna want to go ahead and, well, queen to d3 is not the best square. Maybe queen to d2 is better. Queen to d2, queen to d3 doesn't really support b5 at all, but it does protect this a3 pawn. The problem is this bishop to f5, which is a harassment move. But bishop to f5 is not really great for black anyway. Maybe it is. He gets control of e4. But he does block the f-file, so I'm not sure whether that's good for him or not. I could always just play e4 too. e4 takes, bishop to there maybe. Queen to c3. I think that works out well enough. That'll get this dark square pawn out of the way. And then I can get at his king, his exposed king. Or I could just play e5 and get at this c6 pawn. Maybe play both. Would be nice. Maybe I should play queen to e2 instead of queen to c3. I think queen to c3 is better. And now I have d5, check, and then take the pawn. I don't know if that's better, or if I should just play the queen takes c6 first. The discover check doesn't do a whole lot, so I could just try to save it too. Maybe play e5, then d5 check. I think I'm going to go ahead and play... I'm up a lot of material. Am I? Yeah, I'm up 2 pawns and they're both connected. That's a lot of material. I'm going to go ahead and trade off queens then. Ooh. Well, I just blundered away a pawn. No, okay, good. He had queen to d4 check, and then I really just lost a lot of the good stuff in my position. Do I want to go with more material? Yeah, I think I might as well. These pawns are safe. Okay, he's going to trade off bishops instead. Yeah, this is just not looking good for him at all. I'm up 2 pawns. He really has nothing except a possible kingside invasion. But I think one of these pawns will probably promote if that happens. Okay, I'm gonna reroute my bishop to d3 with tempo, and I can play e5. Do I want to just play d5? No, because then his king can get there. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and... I guess that doesn't actually do anything, does it? Maybe I should have played h4. That does give him a little bit... Basically, I want to clamp down the flanks so he can't invade and attack my pawns. I guess that kind of kills his counterplay. See, now I have the f4 square, and he doesn't have a similar square because I have pawns in the center. And I'm not really sure I don't think there's any way for him. There's nothing for him to do at all. He's got to contend with this pawn now. Excuse me, I'm going to go ahead there. So, I don't really see where he could go. Yeah, just play my king up, try to back his king back, start to advance this h pawn, which I can just sacrifice just to get one of these pawns going. Gonna go ahead and start that right now. Tie his king to this corner, and then this pawn will promote. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. There's not a whole lot you can do. Just don't stalemate him. I don't think I will. I have queen f6, check. He's got to go there. I think I have queen to b, whatever move this is. What's that square? That's not checkmate. Oh, he goes there. Okay. Yeah, I'll just go here. So now I guess he's got to go there. It's kind of going slow. Well, this is just... Okay. I don't want to stalemate him is the only problem here. Yeah, just gonna try to... I'm gonna try to trade off bishops. I'm really low on time though, aren't I? Yeah, I kinda am. Let's see what he does. It's just kind of a lot of fooling around. So he's got a... Yeah, I'll take that. Take that. And then march the pawn. And he still has a move. Got my queen. Okay. There you go. So I kind of played that weirdly at the end, but yeah, where did I go up 2 pawns? I don't really even remember going up 2 pawns. Oh, well, I won the e3 pawn. Did he sacrifice a pawn before this? No. No, I just won the e3 pawn. And then I won the c6 pawn. Yeah, so I think queen to d3 was a pretty good move here. He really couldn't afford to play queen to d6. I'm not sure what that did for him. He should have played... Well, honestly, his position looks pretty bad. I'm not sure what he ought to do. Maybe just a waiting move. Try to make me sacrifice my pawn. Might be best. You know, maybe I should have actually just tripled on the third rank here and just really hammered away at this e3 pawn instead of trying to do this pawn sacrifice. Because that's his major weakness. It would make sense for me to attack that. But I mean, he's got rook to d1, rook to f6, rook to d3. He's also got bishop to f5. So bishop to f5 maybe, and then they can't get to d3. The e3 pawn is going to be protected. Bishop to g6. Well, I guess then I win the c6 pawn. So maybe here, what is that? Where did I move my... Yeah, right here. Rook to d1 would have been better, threatening this rook to d3 move. And rook to f6, rook to d3, rook to e6, and then maybe bishop to h3, and I would win this e3 pawn because he would have to play something like rook to... Well, I guess he'd have to play something like rook to f6 or d6 or sacrifice the exchange, but I don't think it's a good place to sacrifice the exchange. Then I take his bishop, and then queen takes d7, rook takes e3, and I would be up a pawn, right? Yeah, up a pawn, and we would have just queens left, and he'd have this weakness and this weakness, possibly this weakness, but I don't think that would be a weakness. And so as he had a more exposed king, I would have only e2 as a weakness, a3 and d4, which should be pretty easy to defend because I could just play e3 at some point. King f2, e3. So yeah, that probably would have been better. Rook to d1. I think that would be better. But it worked out as I played it. I mean, mostly because he blundered. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching.